Ever feel like you're working nonstop, saving every month, but your money just doesn't seem to grow? Like you're pushing a huge boulder uphill and it barely moves? That's the story for most people who are trying to build a portfolio, until one day everything changes. If you save and invest long enough, your money eventually starts working harder than you do. But this shift doesn't happen all at once. It happens in stages. There are 3 key tipping points that completely change your relationship with money. In the beginning, wealth building feels slow. You're working hard, cutting expenses, investing diligently, but the returns seem tiny. That $10,000 portfolio goes up 7% and you only see $700. It doesn't feel like progress because you're still carrying most of the weight. You are the engine and your portfolio is just along for the ride. But over time, something incredible starts to happen. Your money begins to take over. The first tipping point is when your investments earn more in a typical year than you contribute. In the early days, your deposits are the main source of growth. But once you hit around $100,000, a 10% return adds $10,000 far more than your $6,000 yearly contribution. That's the moment when your portfolio officially outperforms you. The second tipping point is when your investments earn as much as your job pays. The third tipping point is when your portfolio is large enough to support a safe withdrawal rate of around 4 to 5%. At $1.25 million, a 4% withdrawal gives you $50,000 every year without shrinking your principal. This is financial independence. At this stage, your investments can replace your full-time job. Work becomes optional, not mandatory. And once you reach this stage, growth accelerates. That portfolio that took years to reach $1 million might hit $2 million in just a few years. Compounding works slowly at first, but once the snowball is rolling, it builds faster than most people imagine. The first $100,000 is the hardest because it's all groundwork. But once you reach that level, the math starts to shift in your favor. That second tipping point, when your portfolio matches your salary hits at different levels depending on income, but whenever it happens, it carries huge psychological weight. Your money has become your colleague, working right alongside you. Most people never get there because they give up before compounding shows its power. They save for a few years, get discouraged, or dip into investments too soon. What they don't realize is that the slow climb is part of the process. Once the machine is running, it eventually outpaces everything you put into it. When you reach the third tipping point, you stop stressing about money, not because you suddenly have more than you could ever spend, but because you've seen how quickly it can grow. Your wealth doubles faster, even in retirement, and you realize that time is now your greatest ally. These tipping points don't happen overnight. They require discipline, consistency, and patience through market dips, setbacks, and doubts. But once compounding takes over, the hard part is behind you. That's the real reward, not just money, but freedom. The freedom to spend your time how you choose. To say no without fear, to work for fulfillment instead of necessity. No matter when you hit these tipping points in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or later, what matters most is staying invested long enough to let them happen. The uphill push doesn't last forever. Eventually, the rock starts rolling on its own. It's not magic, it's math. But when it happens, it feels like magic. Stay the course. Your tipping point will come.